Just past 3 o'clock on the first Saturday in May here in Louisville, Kentucky, as we work our way towards the Kentucky Derby. Churchill Downs is famous and familiar, but it is brand new in so many ways. We told you the place was new. We want to get down on the ground and show you a peek of some of what is new here, where the fans have been able to enjoy this new paddock area. They have redone it completely. When you walk in, the horses in the paddock and the Twin Spires hit you first. And then I'm going to take you from this second level downstairs a bit, because what's waiting around the corner is something pretty special. When you get around this corner, you have the opportunity to check out the horses up close and personal like never before, because this redo of the paddock has left it open for the opportunity for these fans who buy these tickets to come down before the race, 20 minutes before, 15 minutes before, and see some of this. See some of the folks who make the Derby happen. 6, 7, 8 rows of folks all waiting, getting a good row, getting a good seat to watch the horses coming up in the next race on the turf at 1 mile and 16th. And this paddock is where it feels like a Roman Coliseum. All enclosed, 3 levels, fans on both sides, these clubs. It's their opportunity to be not only up close with the horses, but get a chance to feel the Derby, feel the undercard races as well, and then follow the horses as they head up the tunnel behind me and out to the most famous racetrack in America. The redo is $200 million. It looks every penny of it, and it looks spectacular. This is where the Derby is today. But for more on the roots of where it began 150 years ago, here's Kenny Rice.
Thank you, Mike. His grandfather was one half of the William and Clark expedition, and Meriwether Lewis Clark Jr. inherited that adventurous spirit, taking a trip to England that led to this American classic. It was while watching the Epsom Derby that he had an epiphany. In the state of Kentucky, which was growing in popularity with horse racing, there was not a signature event. So when he returned to Louisville, he met with city fathers. They purchased the land here owned by the Churchill family and built an equine palace. And in May 17, 1875, the doors opened. And the first big race here, the highlight of the day, was won by Aristides. This is his statue. He won the race that became world famous, the Kentucky Derby. Let's go to Rebecca Lowe.
Kenny, thank you. Well, as the crowds got larger, Churchill Downs decided to commission a new grandstand. That was in the late 1800s, and would you believe who designed it but a 24-year-old? His name was Joseph Valdez, and he originally designed it without the Twin Spires, but a year after it was built, he thought, you know, this thing needs something a little bit extra special. Now, one of the former presidents of Churchill Downs is reported to have said to Valdez, Joe, after you die, the one monument that will never be taken down is the Twin Spires. And here we are, 129 years after their first Kentucky Derby and 67 years after Joseph Valdez died, they remain the recognizable symbol of Churchill Downs. Brittany.
Rebecca, the Twin Spires are as synonymous with Churchill Downs as are the traditions that have developed beneath them. The Kentucky Derby, known as the Run for the Roses, a phrase coined nearly 100 years ago. Now, roses have always been a part of the Kentucky Derby, but it was not until 1932 that the garland of red roses, as we know it today, was draped around the neck of the winner. And truly, what would Derby Day be without the iconic signature beverage, the mint julep, which came into form into 1938. Now, Nick, as horses and race goers may change, it's these rituals that remain constant, connecting Derby faithfuls across generations.
And Brittany, those rituals have sustained because the Kentucky Derby is now the longest continuous running, uninterrupted sporting event in the United States. It simply can't be derailed. The Great Depression tried, but in 1932, this place was alive and it was the first worldwide broadcast. 1945, racing was cancelled, but May 8th, Nazi Germany surrendered, and a month later, a rain-sodden Churchill Downs flung open its doors. And then the pandemic did its very best to stop this event, but a bit of quick thinking meant it was still run on the first Saturday in September. Quite simply, Donner Brothers, this, like many of its great champions, is an unstoppable force.
Nick, so many champions have crossed this finish line in front to win the Kentucky Derby, but it was Secretariat who ran his way into the hearts of Americans and the history books in 1973. Secretariat's much-anticipated Run for the Roses drew a then-record crowd of more than 134,000 people who watched him win the Kentucky Derby in 1:59 and 2/5 seconds, a record that still stands today. He then went on to be the first horse in 25 years to sweep the Triple Crown by winning the Preakness and the Belmont Stakes, both in track record times, also records that still stand today. 51 years later, his celebrity status remains, Ahmed.
Donna, the star's not just confined to the track, though. Celebrities have been coming to the Kentucky Derby since 1877 when a famous Shakespearean actress came to Kentucky Derby #3, and the stars have been coming ever since. 2007, Queen Elizabeth, her first trip to the U.S. in 16 years. She watched Street Sense win Derby 135, and it was that same year that NBC brought out the red carpet. We have seen stars throughout the years. Today we have seen Lisa Leslie, Randy Travis, Warren Moon as well. And I think at some point, Steve Kornacki walked the red carpet. He had to have, right, Steve?
Ahmed, I think you got me confused with somebody else on that one. But why don't we return now for just a moment to the Gilded Age, 1875, when Grant was president, when there were 37 states in the Union, when Maine was bigger than California. How different was this race back then? Well, it was run at this same site, but they didn't call it Churchill Downs. It was the Louisville Jockey Club back then. The starting gate? The starting what? They didn't have one back in 1875. The horses just came onto the track and they ran. What about the money? You've probably heard it's a record. $5 million purse this year. What was it back in 1875? The purse then just barely $3,000. How about the bettors? For $2 right now, a minimum of $2, you can bet on this race. What was it back in 1875? Well, actually, it was higher. The minimum bet was $5 in 1875, and when you account for 150 years of inflation, it's the equivalent of $150 today. Talk about a rich man's activity. That was betting in the original days. Fancy hats could be over $1,000. Back then, they were only $4. Lots of change. But in this chaotic world, Mike, one thing I think that we can take some comfort in, this tradition, 3-year-old horses in Louisville every year in a race, lives on.
It is a constant and constantly delivers. A history lesson, and we'll add another page to that book later this afternoon. 150th Kentucky Derby. Scene is set. We're glad you're with us here in Louisville.